Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome, folks that are in the audience, as well as folks that are joining us online, and welcome to the regular board meeting of the Rainbow District School Board for Tuesday, March 19th, 2024. First of all, the Rainbow District School Board would like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Natikamekshik, including the Atikameksheng, Ashanomic, and Wahnapitae First Nations. We'd also like to acknowledge that we are situated within the Robinson-Huron Treaty of 1850, and we want to recognize the inherent rights of the Anishinaabe that maintain these lands for time immemorial. Also like to remind everybody that this meeting is being live streamed, and we'll start tonight with the roll call. Director Bourget.
Trustee Dubosky.
Present.
Trustee Farrell.
Present.
Trustee Gibson.
Present.
Trustee Cosmely.
Present.
Trustee McCauley. Present. Trustee Dewar.
Present.
Trustee Hunda.
Present.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
Present.
Trustee Clement.
Present.
Student Trustee Green.
Present.
And Student Trustee Jacko Sywink.
Thank you, Director. Our first item of business tonight is the approval of the agenda. The motion reads that the agenda for the regular board meeting of March 29th, 2024 be approved. Can I have a mover, please? Moved by Trustee Dewar, seconded by Trustee Hunda. Any questions, amendments? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. Director?
Trustee Clement.
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison.
In favor.
Trustee Dubosky.
In favor.
Trustee Dewar.
In favor.
Trustee Farrell.
In favor?
Trustee Gibson.
In favor.
Trustee Hunda.
In favor.
Trustee Cosmely.
In favor.
Trustee McCauley.
In favor.
And Student Trustee Green.
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Section B of our agenda, preliminary declarations of pecuniary interest. Seeing none, thank you. We move on to Section C, that's presentations. And tonight we have a presentation. We'd like to welcome the students from Llewellyn Park Secondary School who will participate in OFSA cross-country skiing. And I'll turn it over to Director Bourget to introduce these fine young student athletes.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. We're honored tonight to have the OFSA champions from Llewellyn Park, including their coach, Mr. Ward, and proud principal, Ms. Potvin, who will probably want to say a few words. I will say to all the trustees that, you know, we're very supportive of athletics. Certainly we know the value and benefits to the students' health, well-being, and sense of accomplishment. And when students achieve at the OFSA level, at this really high level of competition, to be successful, we do know that they have shown tremendous dedication, extreme hard work, perseverance, grit, and also led by expert coaching. And you will remember that Coach Ward has been before us before. This is a repeat performance for Llewellyn. There's quite a dynasty that's been built over time, so we're proud to say that, and we're also proud of the efforts of Coach Ward and the support of the staff of Llewellyn for these athletes, because it's certainly something that is very rare. So I would caution us not to look at this as something that is commonplace in schools. The repeated success of this program is a testament to the excellence of the athletes, the coaching staff, and the supportive administration. So it takes a full team to provide this opportunity. And just because this team was here last year doesn't diminish the fact that they are the absolute very best in the province of Ontario for all schools. So with that, I'll turn it over to Principal Pave.
Well, I don't know what else there is to say, Director Bourget. I honestly continue to be in awe of this group of young people, and of course, with our coaching staff led by Colin Ward. All I can say is that nothing could be truer than hard work pays off, and this group works hard. They train hard, they play hard, and I think above all else, there's a sense of community that is built amongst this team, and that comes from right from the top, right from Mr. Ward's leadership and guidance throughout the year. These kids are training from cross country all the way to Nordic skiing, and many of these athletes will be training on the track and field team in the coming weeks. So I just couldn't be prouder of, Director Bourget referred to the dynasty, but it really is something that's built over time, and it's that commitment and that love of sport and that passion that has led to this level of success. So I just want to congratulate our students and our coaches for everything they've accomplished so far. If this continues, I know that the success will continue as well. So I'm going to turn things over to Coach Ward so that he can speak a little bit about the competition and just how our athletes persevered.
Thank you very much. And thank you to everyone. This is really kind of you to recognize us. I was having a conversation out on the trails while I was watching the event. I usually am out on trails when the skiers are racing so I can get pictures, cheer them on somewhere out on course. I was out there for a couple hours. And I was talking to a coach from St. Catharines. And in that conversation, and I've had conversations like these before, it became very obvious that our school board stands out because it was clear to both of us that our school board provides a lot more support than theirs did to the athletes. And so the way the Rainbow School Board operates is it's clearly not the model that is executed everywhere in the province. So we are very grateful. We have a very supportive admin, but we do have a very supportive board, and we're very thankful for that. And the other school boards in the province, many of them could learn from our example. So thank you very much for that. I don't know how much detail I should get into, but the students did amazingly well. I can break down the competition briefly. It's 2 days of competition. We have distance races on the first day and relay sprints on the second day, team relay sprints on the second day. Nordic skiing can be taken as an individual sport, but it's also a team sport at the same time, provided you have enough skiers. And it is the team championship banners that we are recognizing today. And the big banner that the team took home was the senior combined banner, which is a combination of the team distance performances of both the senior boys and the senior girls on day one, and a combination of the senior boys and the senior girls distance races on day two. Those 4 races combined in order for the for us to achieve that combined senior championship banner. All skiers, junior alike and senior, really everybody showed up and was magnificent and had their best race of the season. And it is a joy to travel with a team like this. They really are laser focused when we're in the midst of competition. And they want it as badly as anyone else. And so it's truly an honor to work with them. So thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Coach Ward. Really appreciate those comments. We're wondering if there are any students would like to say anything at this time.
There may very well be. I'm looking at Russell or Owen, for instance.
I just wanted to thank Mr. Ward and the coaches for being awesome. I started skiing in grade 9 because I wanted to get better at hockey, and it was similar, and I enjoyed cross-country running so much. And after my first time skiing with them, I actually quit competitive hockey to keep going in skiing, and I've never looked back. And even though skiing is like an individual sport, most of the time warming up with a team for the relay at OFSA is going to be a memory I'll always have. So thank you.
And Owen, perhaps?
Yeah, well, I had a similar experience over the last 4 years since grade 9 in cross country, track, and skiing. It's sort of been a really holistic program that you can take throughout the whole year, as Ms. Potney mentioned. So this has just sort of been a nice finale to the ski portion of the last few years. It was definitely an unconventional start in grade 9, but I'm really glad that I got into this sport and to learn a new skill when you're a little bit older, especially with a lot of people getting into it for the first time in high school, is something really special you don't get to see, especially where people progress and put in so much effort so quickly. So it's really rewarding experience to be able to develop so quickly in this sport. And I've definitely noticed that it has helped me with like my cross training and just getting myself involved with like a community of people at the school who all appreciate and prioritize their health and the community that we've cultivated. So yeah, thank you for the last few years, and it's been a really good experience. Hopefully the rest of the year will be just as good. And yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you, Russell and Owen, and we couldn't be more proud of you as a group of trustees and the effort that you've put in. This is why we come here to do this job on a monthly basis, is to see great results like this. So thank you, Russell. Thank you, Owen. And Owen, please do give your best to your mom and dad for me. Tell them I asked about them. And I'll open it up now to any questions from the trustees. We have Trustee Cosmerly. Go ahead.
I have two questions. One has to do with what the weather was like this year and what kind of impact it had on anyone trying to do cross-country skiing. I'll leave that, I guess, through you to the team.
I don't know who would like to answer that. Did you hear the question?
Yeah. Russell, would you like to take that?
We have awesome coaches who woke up really early in the morning to test wax for us, and in skiing, wax makes a huge difference. So I think our school had a huge advantage compared to other schools just because of how dedicated our coaches are to wake up that early and go test. The weather was really, really warm, and there was not a lot of snow, but people shoveled snow to make it happen, which was awesome to see.
The organizers at Lakefield worked tirelessly to keep that track alive, and they were shoveling and stockpiling snow all through the week, and even during the competition, because it was getting pretty mild during the day, and it would be pretty icy in the morning typically, and I think slushy in the afternoon. So I think the conditions did change. It was a challenge. All season was a challenge, actually. So as you can imagine, this winter.
Thank you. And a follow-up from Trustee Cosmerly?
Just one. First, thank you for that. Secondly, could the team put on their cameras so that we can see who they are, who's available? Usually we have people in the room. I have no idea. I'm seeing a lot of names, but no people. So I'm wondering if people wouldn't mind, just for a minute, just turn it on so that we can recognize you and congratulate you. Thank you.
Thank you. That's better. We can see more folks now. This is great. This is great. Sort of like Hollywood Squares for us. I'm dating myself. Some of these young athletes won't know what that is, but I'm certainly dating myself. Anyway, so we're going to go to Trustee Macaulay now for a question. Sir, go ahead.
First of all, I just want to give you my highest praise, congratulations for the fine effort that you've done. I was fortunate enough to go over and watch some of the pre-OFSA races coming down the hill. I have a granddaughter that's involved in that, and I watched and I couldn't believe the athleticism coming down that hill and the speed. I've never really been exposed to that close up before, and I think it's a credit to you, your coaches, and all of the team to bring this credit to your school. And thank you for bringing accolades to the board too. But we are so proud of you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Trustee Macaulay. And I just want to make sure that I check if there are any trustees online also that have questions. Please indicate. I will go to Trustee Hunda right now for her question comment. Trustee Hunda.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. No questions, really, just a major congratulations. We are incredibly proud of you. And Colin, honestly, we can't say enough about your commitment and your commitment to this team. And I'm sitting here listening to you all, and this isn't the first time I've seen many of you. And I'm just so impressed with how well you express yourselves. Very impressed on how you appreciate the coaching staff and those that got you there, and how you were able to come before us and speak so eloquently, and that goes a long way to show your character and probably why you're quite so successful. I want to thank you all also for recognizing the board. it is important to us. We truly believe in athletics, and to see you guys so successful, and Colin, to hear that we've got a little name for ourselves out there is really nice to hear too. But again, I am so incredibly proud of you. I know it takes a lot of commitment. Your stories were interesting. That's very, very wonderful to hear. And again, Pam, through your leadership, and Colin, none of this is possible without you. And thank you very, very much for your commitment. And you can clearly see how much that has impressed your team. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Hunda. Any further comments or questions from trustees? We have, yes. Trustee Corbier-Addison. Go ahead, Lisa.
I just wanted to congratulate all the team members, both the girls team and the boys team, for their wonderful accomplishments. I love that these are individual sports as well, and the fact that you can take these into a lifetime of skiing, cross-country, running, track and field, and continue on into your university years. Best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Corbier-Addison. Seeing no other questions, I'll just add a final word. I wanted to say congratulations to Principal Potvin, of course, being a former colleague of mine, and knowing that there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes, and these things don't happen without administrative leadership in school. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for that. And Colin, I wanted just to say, you know, from one longtime coach to another, the hours that I know that you've put in behind the scenes. I mean, Director Bourget and I speak all the time about the number of hours we spend in the gymnasium coaching basketball and various things. So it's just above and beyond the call of duty, and just know how much we as the Board of Trustees appreciate the work that you put in that are developing not just young athletes, but really, really good young men and women for our community. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and congratulations once again, and good luck in your futures. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, after that good news story, we just go on to the regular agenda that we have here. So, first and foremost, we're going to the next step. As they move off screen, we'll go into our next section of the board meeting, and section D is report from the closed meeting of the board. And we have 3 motions that emanated out of the Labor Relations Committee. So we're going to move these motions forward quite quickly. So motion number 1 is that motion number 24-W13, read labor relations, be approved. We'll need a mover. Moved by Trustee Cosmerly and seconded by Trustee Dewar. All those, poll vote, please, Director.
Trustee Clement?
Favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee DeBoski?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor?
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly?
In favor?
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Green?
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. The second motion is that number 24-W14, read labor relations, be approved. We'll need a mover for that, please. Moved by Trustee Corbier-Addison and seconded by Trustee Cosmerly. Poll vote, please, Director Bourget.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee DeBoski?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor?
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor?
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly?
In favor?
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Green?
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you very much, Director. Our next motion is that motion number 24-W15, read labor relations, be approved. We'll need a mover. Moved by Trustee McCauley and seconded by Trustee Hunda. Poll vote, please, Director.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee DeBoski?
In favor?
Trustee Dewar?
In favor?
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor?
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly?
In favor?
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
And Student Trustee Green?
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you very much for approving those motions, and a huge thank you to the work that our Labor Relations Committee has done on these motions. The next section of our agenda is old business, and we need to review our previous minutes. So I have a motion that the minutes of the regular board meeting held on Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 be approved. We'll need a mover for that, please. Moved by Trustee Hunda and seconded by Trustee Dewar. I'll just give folks a minute to have a look and see if there are any additions or subtractions or any edits that we need to make to those minutes. And I know people have had a chance to see them and read them in their package previously. So seeing none, we will go to the vote. Director, if we could have a poll vote, please.
Trustee Clement,
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison,
In favor?
Trustee DeBoski,
In favor?
Trustee Dewar,
In favor?
Trustee Farrell,
In favor?
Trustee Gibson,
In favor?
Trustee Hunda,
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly,
In favor?
Trustee McCauley,
In favor.
Student Trustee Green.
In favor.
Motion's carried.
Thank you very much, Director. Now, reports and recommendation from board committees. We have 2023-2024 school year update, and we'll call upon our director to give us a very short and succinct update on the school year for this year so far. So, Director, where you go?
Thank you. I'm very tempted to talk slowly, but I will try to comply. Trustees, as always, I welcome the opportunity to provide an update on strategic directions, the vision, mission, values, and priorities that guide our work. We commend our administrators, teachers, and all school support staff for ensuring that we realize our mission. Together, we prepare students to become lifelong learners, achieving their full potential as confident, caring members of society. And it's an honor for us to fulfill this mission on behalf of the board. In Rainbow Schools, the second Thursday at the start of each school year is Stand Up Against Bullying Day. Staff and students wear pink as we join together to demonstrate our collective commitment to safe schools. What began with 2 students in one secondary school in Nova Scotia in 2007 has now become a global movement. Many countries recognize specific days for raising awareness about the prevention of bullying and promotion of kindness and inclusion. Wednesday, February 28th was Pink Shirt Day in Canada. It provided an opportune time to reflect on the importance of fostering warm and welcoming school environments all year long. We thank our administrators, educators, and support staff for making Rainbow Schools safe places where each and every student is inspired to achieve their full potential. As you know, when students feel a strong sense of belonging at school in safe and supportive places, they are ready to learn and they are open to new experiences. I share this quote with you at a previous meeting. You'll recall it was the message on the board at the entrance of Llewellyn Park Secondary School. And with the implementation of Dare to Care in all of our elementary schools, we are seeing some very creative ways to spread kindness, over and above all the genuine acts of care and empathy. I captured this photo of our very own Trustee McCauley during a visit to Marks Day Public School. Being the I in kind sends a strong message about what we value as a board. Kindness is certainly the foundation for creating caring schools and caring school communities. This photo was taken at Larchwood Public School. The I in kind, in this case, is one of the Ministry of Education's student achievement officers who visited us last month to see how we are progressing in math. They were also impressed with our focus on kindness and asked to have their picture taken to share back with the ministry. Speaking of math, our math team mentioned this ministry visit during the strategic planning presentation on the Math Achievement Action Plan earlier this month on March 5th. I want to take a moment to revisit just a few slides from that presentation because I think it captured the diligence and dedication with which our math team, school administrators, and classroom teachers are prioritizing the curriculum in math with a focus on fidelity of implementation, teacher math content knowledge, and responsive teaching. The student achievement officer said, "It was obvious there is a very strong level of focus as you collect a variety of data to support not only students, but also educators. This speaks to our commitment to just-in-time data to determine whether learning goals have been met and what happens next. This ongoing feedback for students and educators ensures that instruction is tailored directly to areas of need so that learning is timely and relevant." The student achievement officers also commented on the alignment of our work from the ministry to the board to schools to make a difference in mathematics achievement. The Ministry of Education, as you know, establishes the curriculums taught in our schools. The Board of Trustees sets our directions, as you know, through a clearly articulated vision and mission with corresponding values and priorities. The alignment continues to our administrative leadership teams, to educators and support staff, and to students. Beyond the school, we also engage parents and guardians to support their children's learning and the journey at home. And this is perhaps a quote that's most meaningful to us because it truly captures the kind and caring school cultures that we remain focused on creating in all of our schools in Sudbury, Espanola, and Manitoulin. And it reads, "Hats off to your principals for their energy, commitment to creating welcoming environments where the kids want to be, while keeping an eye on the improved achievement. I'm sure this is felt not only in math, but in every important area of the school. They are obviously visible, accessible, and engaged with their teachers and students." This quote speaks volumes about the leadership teams and their work within their respective schools. Creating positive school cultures not only happens in the classroom where teachers, students, and support staff interact on a day-to-day basis. It starts from the moment you walk into a school. You can feel the pride in how people are greeted by staff, what you see on the walls as you walk the walls, what is valued in the school and the school community, and how achievement is recognized and celebrated. And you see one of our favorite terms, having a growth mindset in math. You also see honors and awards that are showcased in display cases. And you can see and feel all this energy and positivity before you get to the classrooms, where the real magic actually happens. Here's a good example, one that we recently shared with the community at large. An inquisitive group of grade 3 and 4 students from RLBD Public School partnered with grade 12 International Baccalaureate IB students from Llewellyn Park to design simple machines that could load Santa's sleigh with presents. A simple machine, which is a concept taught in grade 4 science curriculum, is a mechanical device that changes the direction or magnitude of a force. The idea for a partnership surfaced when Jennifer Peloso, a grade 12 IB teacher from Llewellyn Park, was exploring ways her students could give back. After presenting the idea to Jody Dubo, a grade 3-4 teacher at RLBD, both educators agreed the collaboration would be mutually beneficial. For the project, elementary students were randomly paired with secondary students to design and build a system that at least 3 simple machines could skillfully load Santa's sleigh with presents. During the first meeting, which took place in December, the newly formed pairs found a spot in the elementary classroom or library to brainstorm their build. Students began by discussing the various types of simple machines, including what they are, what they do, and how they could help them develop a plan of action. When the students reconvened in February, they spent the afternoon using creativity, innovation, and materials such as pulleys, levers, inclined planes, wheels, axles, and wedges to bring their concepts to life. Through twists and turns and trial and error, students were able to successfully use their simple machines to load presents into Santa's sleigh. With such a triumphant collaboration, both groups decided to take on another project this spring, and we can't wait to see what's come. Another example, at Marks Day Public School, and engaging in a partnership for an experiential learning project. The grade 7-8 and 6-7 classes are producing a documentary about how Marks Day community and how it's changed over the years, both physically and in people's minds. Students are interviewing community members as well as current and former staff from the school. In addition to recording interviews, students are creating video of area landmarks. The project meets many of the expectations in the language curriculum. In addition to learning about video and editing tools, students are taught writing insightful interview questions and preparing the overall script for the documentary. They're also taking on different roles during the process, such as camera operator, reporter, editor, writer, and many more. If you're connected to Marks Day and have memories to share, you can email marksdaymemories@rainbowschools.ca. Also at Marks Day Public School, students in grades 6 to 8 mark the culmination of Black History Month with an art show. Under the guidance of arts consultant Daniela Catesta, students created pieces inspired by Black artists through various time periods. Staff from the Art Gallery of Sudbury visited the school to work with students, and the art show was a wonderful showcase of learning and creativity. Project Search, an international program that helps students who require additional support prepare for the world of work, is in its 2nd year in Greater Sudbury, thanks to a partnership between Rainbow District School Board, Health Sciences North, the City of Greater Sudbury, and March of Dimes Canada. Project Search was launched in 1996 at the Cincinnati Children's Hospital in an effort to promote a vibrant, inclusive workforce. The program combines on-the-job training with class components, and there are now over 600 Project Search sites worldwide, and we're very proud to have one of them at Health Sciences North. Erin Riley, the director of Project Search Cincinnati, was in Sudbury today and met with this year's participants. And she's certainly enthusiastic about how the program has progressed. And we'll show you a quick video.
I wanted to meet the interns, and they seem like they are a great group of kids, young adults, and they really are young adults. I'm impressed with how excited they are, and so I was excited to meet them. I'm excited to see the internships. I really want to talk to the team and see what they're thinking, what would they change, what's working for them. It's just fun to be back. You know, what I heard them say this morning is that they love this adult experience. They feel respected. It's the first time some of them are coming out of their shells and talking, and I love it when they know that and when they say it. So I think it just reinforces what I see in many places, that having that adult experience can be a real difference maker. I knew when I was here last time that you had a great team, and I got to meet everybody. The folks at the hospital are totally engaged and excited. The skills trainers are some of the best I've seen anywhere. The school district is fabulous. So I'm not surprised it's doing well. I think this is probably one of our better programs in Canada right now. And so I'm excited to be back and let you know that I think you're doing a great job.
So Project Search HSN has experienced tremendous success in its first year. Many of the participants have jobs today because of the skills they learned, the relationships they built, and the confidence they gained. With each internship, we hear heartwarming stories from supervisors about the difference students are making. They're doing important work that is critical to the smooth operation of their respective departments. We know students feel valued and appreciated and enjoy being productive and contributing in meaningful ways, and we're very grateful for this partnership. And it's made possible in our community, and we certainly thank Erin Riley for supporting our program and supporting our students as they transition from school to work, and for being in Sudbury today. Shifting quickly to one of the world's oldest and most popular sports is being introduced again this year in Rainbow Schools in support of the Ministry of Education's Programs and Partnerships Development Program. During the last school year, Rainbow District School Board received $10,000 to purchase cricket equipment and train staff. Another $20,500 has been provided this year to bring the game to more and more schools. While cricket is very new to a great number of staff and schools, we have an ever-growing student population with experience in the game, and many of our newcomers are familiar with cricket because it is an important part of their culture. They welcome the opportunity to share their love of the sport with their classmates in Canada, and we welcome the opportunity to offer more culturally relevant in-class and intramural activities to our more diverse student body. And once again, over the past month, we entered the season of system-wide events, including cross-country skiing. Races were held on trails in Walden and Capriol, and these are some of our elementary students you see in the pictures. Events like this give students an opportunity to explore fun activities and perhaps develop an interest in a sport that may continue into secondary school and beyond. As you saw this evening, earlier on, we had that pleasure of hearing from Colin Ward and Llewellyn Park Secondary School skiers, who captured top honors provincially. At Officer Nordic Skiing, the senior teams garnered the overall combined championship banner for the second consecutive year, and what was not mentioned earlier was this is the fourth time that Llewellyn Park has earned this title since 2018. Wow. And with officer competitions canceled during the pandemic, that actually makes it even more significant because there were some years that they could not have won it. Llewellyn Park has certainly dominated the trails, and once again, congratulations to the staff and the students. From sports, we move to the trades for some quick updates. The 17th annual Tech Skills Competition was held on February 29th at Cambrian College. 150 secondary students tested their skills in various skilled trades, including 2D and 3D character animation, AutoCAD, auto service technology, cabinet making, carpentry, coding, electrical installations, home and team building, heavy-duty equipment, mechanical, AutoCAD, photography, small-powered engines, TV, video production, welding, workplace safety, and VEX robotics. New this year was an elementary component that saw 160 students from grades 7 and 8 competing in 5 categories, including animation, construction, Lego mechanical engineering, Lego robotics, and TV video production. Here's some pictures from the actual event. Competitions for the carpentry, team of 2, and home and team building categories took place at the United Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners Local 2486 in Azilda on March 5th. Students were vying for an opportunity to compete at the Skills Ontario competition, and we have a number of students who will be members of Team Sudbury in Toronto on May 4th and 5th. As you know, there's been a resurgence in the trades in recent years, given the need for workers in all fields. And I'd like to thank our coordinators and technology teachers for engaging students in the trades in new and innovative ways. They are giving our students every opportunity to explore trades as possible pathways for careers. In addition, a number of our students from Rainbow Schools will take part in the Sudbury Regional Science Fair at Laurentian University's Cliff Fielding Engineering Building on April 6th and 7th. Grade 7 and 8 students from Llewellyn Park Secondary School won the honor to participate at the regional level following our Rainbow District School Board Elementary Science Fair on March 5th. They'll be joining our secondary students, and some of them from Lockerbie Composite School. Projects from Sudbury-wide regional fairs will be selected to go to the Canada-wide Science Fair in Ottawa in May. And you know we've had great history of success with that with former projects. Participating in the science fair gives students the opportunity to actively engage in authentic learning. As they investigate questions that are real, they enhance their scientific skills and further their interest in science and related careers. Lockerbie Composite has reimagined its science and technology program and will launch changes to STEP this fall. Students will have more opportunities for experiential and authentic learning as they prepare for current and emerging post-secondary studies and careers. In the enriched learning model, students will collaborate and solve complex problems in an environment that supports cross-curricular learning and interdisciplinary study approaches. Starting in September 2024, STEP students entering grade 9 and continuing on to grade 10 will study science, tech design, mathematics, and geography for the entire school year. Combining these courses will allow students to participate in integration days, and they'll also complete other courses such as English, physical education, French or Ojibwe, and visual art or music in the conventional 2-semester framework. These integration days will provide unique learning experiences which will allow students and classes to work collaboratively and simultaneously with teachers from multiple disciplines: science, technology, design, math, and geography 1 day a week. On these days, students will broaden their tech skills, learn about engineering design process, and be given time to create, invent, design, and construct prototypes. These days will enable classroom learning to be enhanced with experiential learning, field trips, mentorships, through community partnerships, providing an enriching educational experience. We also have grade 12 student, Adam Salamatsidis, has received the Lieutenant Governor's Ontario Heritage Award for Youth Achievement, one of only 2 students in the province to receive this honor this year. Adam has made an exceptional contribution to his school and his community. He's not only an outstanding student, he's also a champion for environmental education and sustainability. A natural leader, Adam is most deserving of this award, and we congratulate him. There are annual juried awards administered by the Ontario Heritage Trust to recognize remarkable achievements in heritage conservation. We also have 4 students from Llewellyn Park who have been accepted into the prestigious Soho Sound Canadian Junior Honor Band. The virtual ensemble is made up of the best student musicians in grades 6 to 9 from across Canada. Grade 9 students Mirko Roberto playing the flute, Yurhaz Bacha, the alto saxophone, Leah Thompson Nelson, the alto saxophone, and Deborah Mukwakma, trumpet, were selected following auditions. Soho Sound Canada Junior Honor Band members partner with esteemed university music educators from across the country in the virtual preparation and presentation of concert band works under the direction of Cheryl and Daryl Ferguson. All musicians receive a master class from an esteemed university instructor. The experience culminates with the international release of a professionally mastered performance compiled using student recordings under the auspices of the Coalition for Music Education on Music Monday on May 6th. Asiganak Public School held more wellness workshops for parents and guardians with their Parents Reaching Out grants on February 29th. Asiganak Unplugged 2 focused on low-tech, family-oriented activities to promote physical and mental health. A number of schools received programs to engage families aligned with board priorities. Also, trustees, today marks the first day of spring, even though it doesn't look so spring-like outside, also known as the spring equinox, and it's derived from the Latin words equal night. During the spring equinox, the sun sits directly over the Earth's equator, heading north. Both hemispheres share the sun's rays equally at the equinox, and daytime and nighttime are approximately the same length. This results in an increase in daylight hours, earlier dawns, and late sunsets, and the reason for moving our clocks ahead 1 hour prior to the spring. For Indigenous people, the spring equinox represents change, growth, renewal, and rebirth, a time when snow melts to uncover Mother Earth, flowers begin to bloom, and animals come out of hibernation to greet a new season. It is customary for Indigenous Anishinaabe people to host a ceremony to welcome the change in seasons and embrace the many teachings and gifts that are presented in the eastern direction of the medicine wheel. Next, we have Rainbow District School Board inviting students and staff to go blue for World Water Day on Friday, March 22nd, which coincides with Canada Water Week from March 22nd to March 28th. The Go Blue initiative involves 3 components: to only drink water for the day, to research the importance of protecting our water supply, and to find ways to conserve water at home. Students will take part of a variety of activities designed to explore their personal water consumption habits. Students will learn about the connection between water consumption and critical issues such as global warming, the rarity of fresh water, and inequities with fresh water and social justice. Our educators were given various resources to encourage meaningful dialogue from an Indigenous perspective, including the story, The Water Walker, which discusses the advocacy work of the late Anishinaabe grandmother, Nokomis Josephine Bidasagi Mandawan. Josephine is remembered for initiating a pathway for water walkers to continue to make our world a better place by respecting the water. This Go Green initiative is part of the Environmental Education Committee's ongoing efforts to encourage sustainable practices and increase awareness about water use. Rainbow District School Board will host our second career fair on April 6th. This will take place at Lockerbie Compton School from 9 to 3 p.m. As you know, we're hiring for a variety of positions in Sudbury, Espanola, and Manitoulin, and we look forward to meeting prospective candidates. Human resources staff and hiring principals and managers will be at the career fair to conduct interviews, as well as share information, answer questions, and accept applications. If candidates meet the required qualifications for positions of interest, they may be offered an interview on the spot. Candidates are encouraged to pre-book an interview by submitting their application to hr@rainbowschools.ca by Tuesday, April 2nd. They're asked to submit a cover letter specifying their position they're applying for, as well as a copy of their resume, and of course, more information is always available on the board website. As you know, our career fair is one of many fairs staff attend to recruit prospective employees to the board. Human Resources works on continuous intake in order to bolster our pool of candidates to fill vacancies for all positions. And I'd like to take this moment to thank Human Resources and the administrators who have worked so hard to engage prospective candidates to be present at our university job fairs. Of course, you'll see them in full force at the Rainbow Schools Career Fair at April 6th. As you know, April 19th, Professional Activity Day was rescheduled to April 8th. The change will ensure there's no school for students on the day of the solar eclipse. The solar eclipse is expected to occur at or near dismissal times and result in temporary darkness. There's also a concern that students who are walking home or taking the bus without supervision may try to watch the eclipse without protection and potentially damage their eyesight. The Canadian Association of Optometrists have issued a set of guidelines for safe viewing of the eclipse, and we've shared the website and guidelines with our parents and guardians and students when we announce the PA Day change. We'll also issue a reminder later as the date gets closer. Indigenous education, truth and reconciliation in action will be the focus of professional learning for all staff on April 8th. The day will feature a conversation between Principal Nicole Nicholas and Joe Crona, who authored a book about Indigenous pedagogies. With over 25 years in Indigenous education, Joe Crona encourages readers to acknowledge and challenge assumptions, reflect on their own experiences, and envision a wonderful, equitable education system for all. As an educator and member of a First Nation in British Columbia, Joe Crona will share practical insights and effective strategies for embedding Indigenous learning principles in our schools. All staff will engage in self-reflection activities prepared by our Indigenous Education Department, facilitated by school administrators. That afternoon, Professor Kevin Lamoureux from the University of Winnipeg will share his expertise in building school climates where Indigenous students and students who learn in non-traditional ways can be successful. We've had Kevin Lamoureux speak again before. He's wonderful, and he's an insightful speaker, and we look forward to continue our journey of learning together as we build our understanding of the truth and reaffirm our commitment to reconciliation. And finally, just a few reminders here to our parents and guardians who are important partners in education. Our program team compiled a list of resources that parents and guardians can use with their children at home. Principals shared these resources with families last fall. They are posted on the board website in the parent section. This will put learning tools at their fingertips with a focus on reading, writing, and math. And we encourage our parents and guardians to engage in their child's learning and encourage them to have their students practice these skills at home, because we know with these practices, the skills become more automatic. And wrapping up here, as you know, literacy was the focus of our last Parent Involvement Committee meeting. The topic for April 9th will be math this year. Meetings will be at 7 p.m. with in-person and online options. Everybody is welcome. And there's great information here. I can't encourage people enough to attend. Everyone's welcome, and the agenda is posted on the board website prior to meetings. And with that, I hope I was brief. I do want to thank all of you for the opportunity to provide this update, and I'd be pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Any questions from trustees? We have Trustee Cosmerly. Go ahead.
Just a comment. Thank you to the students who have been successful in the sports, and thank you to the board. It's awesome when you get kudos from organizations such as Project Search, head office in Cincinnati, and positive recognition from the ministry for all the hard work that I know Leslie and her group has put in place with respect to math. So kudos to all of you. That reflects well on this board, but it reflects really well on everyone who has put in the effort. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Cosmerly. Any other questions or comments for the Director? Seeing none, I just wanted to say thank you, Director, for the great work. I know I tease you about the length of your presentations, but there's so much going on in the Rainbow District School Boards and so much great, valuable work, and it's an honor to see the great work that's being done by our staff, and I really thank you for that very much as we move forward. So once again, thanks for that. We'll move on to our next section, the Director, and this is Capital Projects Update, and we'll turn it over to our Superintendent of Business, Adam Juvo. Go ahead, Adam. You have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Farrell, and to the trustees for the opportunity to discuss the board's ongoing and upcoming capital projects. For this school year, we have planned a total of 62 projects across 34 facilities within the board. When selecting projects, our primary considerations include student safety, classroom accommodations, and requirements identified within the ministry's capital planning and management system. We've been informed that the ministry will be performing audits on roughly a dozen of our facilities this spring to update this information, with the remainder to be completed in 2025. Estimated total cost of the 62 projects is $27.9 million and are funded by the following: $5.3 million in school renewal funds, $16.6 million in school condition improvement, $3.3 million in capital priority funding, and $1.7 million in childcare funding. The latter two are approved by the ministry for specific projects. At the beginning of the school year, we completed the work on a new modular unit at Princess Anne Public School, and work was completed on 2 additional units at McLeod Public School over the holiday break in December and into the new year. An additional modular unit has been ordered and is scheduled to be placed at Algonquin Public School prior to the start of the 2024-25 school year. To accommodate, there will be a new full-size outdoor basketball court built near the playground equipment at the front of the school. At Lively District Secondary School, we are in the process of converting a former science lab into a more functional classroom. This work is underway and is similar to the work we did at Northeastern last year. At Mark State Public School, we are also converting an unused space into a food prep area that was lost last year when we had to create additional classroom space. At Lockerbie Composite Secondary School, we are also undergoing renovations to modernize 2 large rooms utilized to facilitate the STEP program. And finally, at both the Siganak and Central Manitoulin Public Schools, we are undergoing renovations to the washroom facilities and looking at replacement lockers. At Siganak, we are also exploring alternative heating options to the current electric setup. At Manitoulin Secondary School, as we have previously announced, there is a great deal of work being done to support the SHISM program in the tech wing. This includes new equipment being brought in, the associated work to run electrical, water, and air lines to that equipment, installation of a new hoist, and the clearing of floor drains. In relation to our continued AODA efforts, we will be completing work at Alexander Public School to put in a lift that will provide access to the lower level of the school. At Confederation Secondary School, we are doing work to accommodate one of our low vision students by extending and painting hand railing, installing tactile walking surface indicators, braille signage, and floor mats at water stations. At Lockerbie Composite, we are doing some work on the doors to incorporate magnetic release function and to tie in with the fire alarm system. And over the March break at McLeod Public School, we began installing a lockdown system with work expected to be completed by mid-May. At CC McLean Public School, we'll be completing some remaining ventilation work and replacing boilers over the summer. We're also doing some work in the yard and with some fencing. Larchwood Public School is receiving new boilers in addition to some electrical work, replacement of windows, and some upgrades in the washroom facilities. R.H. Murray Public School will also have new boilers installed and some electrical work done. This tender closed just last week and is in the process of being finalized. Our project at Monetteville continues this summer with a new UV water system being installed, and we'll be replacing boilers at this location as well. Over the summer, we'll be replacing 2 major areas of the roof at Alexander Public School. The following schools will be receiving precast concrete sheds to provide for additional storage. LaSalle Elementary received the 2 that were originally planned earlier this year, while R.H. Murray will also be receiving 2 units as they continue to see enrollment grow and can utilize the additional space. The unit going in at S. Geiger Public School will also allow us to tear down an old brick structure that is no longer required. At C.R. Judd, we are currently exploring design options to put a bus lay-by near the front entrance of the school to improve traffic flow in the front of the school. At Redwood Acres, and in accordance with the tender results we shared in February, we are undergoing renovations to the parking lot, fixing some drainage issues, and expanding the bus lay-by area for improved safety. This work started over the March break with the installation of the new drainage structure. At Princess Anne, we will be proceeding with an expansion of the parking lot on the north side of the property, adding an additional 16 parking spaces and creating more room for safe travel through the one-way corridor. At the LaSalle campus, we will be completing paving work on the site from the dome all the way around to the front of the new elementary school. This will include the main parking lot at the front of the secondary school and a redesigned bus lay-by that will allow buses to drop off our elementary students closer to their entrance to the new school. This work will take place over the summer and will render these facilities as inaccessible for the better part of that period. Finally, at RLBD, we will be doing work to redesign the front entrance where students assemble to board buses at the end of the day. This will include additions and repairs to the concrete sidewalk and stairs along the front of the school and leading to the 2 points of entry. At CVDCS, we are exploring options to improve drainage in the yard alongside Cote Street and are adding turf to certain areas in the courtyard requiring similar improvements. Valley View Public School is undergoing major renovations to the playground in the back and will include a soccer field, new playground equipment, outdoor classroom equipment, and a walking path throughout the yard. Gene Hansen Public School is also receiving accessible playground equipment for nonverbal communication as we continue our renovations of the yard and parking space at that facility. At Llewellyn Park Secondary School, we have committed to contribute to a revitalization project for the recreation facilities. This project is being undertaken by the City of Sudbury and also includes local community groups and corporate sponsors. During the fall, both the tennis courts and basketball courts were resurfaced, and the project will see the completion of a new rink and boards, as well as the refurbishment to the clubhouse. Both S. Geiger and Larchwood Public Schools will have fencing installed along the perimeter of the properties in the back playground areas to limit accessibility and traffic from snow machines and ATVs, as well as wildlife, and improve student safety during outdoor breaks. The The following is a list of ongoing projects at various stages of progress. We're in the midst of finalizing a design for Lansdowne Public School to address the accessibility challenges. The design also incorporates additional space for student accommodations, adjustments to the parking area, and the inclusion of a bus lay-by. It is our intention to submit this project as a capital priority application when the ministry announces the next round, which we believe will be in the fall. At Little Current Public School, we are utilizing dedicated childcare funding provided by the ministry to renovate the space in the existing daycare. This project was recently tendered and awarded, and we hope to begin work in the near future. We are undertaking reviews of masonry work requirements around the system in hopes of tendering the work to one group to be done over a defined period of time. We are also assessing the state of our unpaved parking lots to determine our frequency of grading maintenance versus paving options. We are reviewing PA systems throughout the board. We are having our provider perform testing to assess the best path forward. Where replacements are required, we will be looking to standardize any new systems that better reflect modern technological options. And finally, we have engaged with a working group, including local trustees and our principal of Indigenous Education, to develop a design for the community garden in Espanola at the old A.B. Ellis site. The parking lot, basketball court, and soccer field are complete, and this is the remaining space to be developed. And with that, I'd like to extend my gratitude to both our facilities and capital projects teams, including Natalie Musso, Sandy Ackroyd, and Paolo Baradelli, for all their hard work and for putting us in a position to complete these projects over the next several months. And to the school staff for accommodating some of the work that is taking place during the school year. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Superintendent Guilbeault. Any questions? Seeing none from trustees. So Adam, I just wanted to say there is a huge scope of work that's going on. And it's very impressive. And having some experience in knowing what construction costs are right now, they're through the roof. I'm just really, really pleased to see so much going on. And congratulations to you and all the staff for the ongoing work. It seems like there's a little bit something going on everywhere through our boards. And a lot of it is much needed. So really thank you very much for that update. We very much appreciate it. So we're going to move on to the new business. The Ontario School Board Association Education, Labor Relations and Human Resources Symposium 2024. Superintendent, Trustee Cosmerly, did you have anything that you'd wanted to say about this at this time, or?
No, only that the registration is open. There have been some issues with hotel rooms. So if people do put their name in to attend this Labor Relations and Human Resources Symposium, if you do run into problems with booking a room, let me know, because OPSPA is very much aware of it. But there's some great topics under discussion, a lot having to do with human resources. The AI piece, I think, is going to be a big one, because that's becoming a big topic everywhere.
Okay, thank you. So what we're looking for right now is a list of trustees that are thinking about attending this conference. If you could just let us know now that that we're here. So we have Trustee Cosmerly is interested in attending, Trustee McCauley.
Trustee Gibson.
Trustee Gibson, I thank you. Anita Hevitt. Trustee Hunda. And Trustee Dabowski, I see, also. Okay, thank you very much. So we have a motion that the board approve the attendance of the following. Oh, sorry, Trustee Clement, I didn't see you. My apologies. Thank you for yelling. You put him on also. Trying to see everything that's going on here. So we have a motion that the board approve the attendance of the following trustees at the 2024 OPSPA Labor Relations and Human Resources Symposium in Toronto on April 25th, 26th, 2004. And those trustees once again are Trustee Cosmerly, Trustee Dabowski, Trustee Gibson, Trustee Hunda, Trustee McCauley, and Trustee Clement. So we need a mover for that, please. Moved by Trustee Hunda, seconded by Trustee Dewar. All those in favor will go to a vote.
Trustee Clement?
In favor.
Trustee Corbier-Addison?
In favor?
Trustee Dabowski?
In favor.
Trustee Dewar?
In favor.
Trustee Farrell?
In favor.
Trustee Gibson?
In favor.
Trustee Hunda?
In favor.
Trustee Cosmerly?
In favor?
Trustee McCauley?
In favor.
Student Trustee Green?
In favor.
Motion is carried.
Thank you, Director. Notice of absence. Our only absenteeism tonight is Student Trustee Jacko Siwin. That takes us to Director's remarks. So, Director Bourget, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chair Farrell. I do hope that all students and staff enjoyed a well-deserved March break. Just a couple points of information for you tonight. Elementary predicted enrollment was 9,133 last year for this coming year that we're in, and for this year projecting into next year, elementary predicted enrollment is 9,363 elementary students for the fall. Secondary school predictions are due this week, so we'll update those for you at a later date. These predictions are very important, as you know, because they inform our staffing levels, and I do want to thank Tiffany Hayes for all her hard work over the break to work on elementary staffing. You do know that the elementary and secondary staffing is underway at this point for the upcoming school year. We do remind parents and guardians that there is still time to register, and you're most welcome to do so. Registering now, though, however, helps us to plan much better for the fall. A couple other pieces. Eligibility process interviews. We continue to work on succession planning and the support of new administrative candidates. I'd also like to thank our Human Resources Department and our hiring teams for their tremendous efforts in recruiting employees for various positions. The board awards are coming up. We'll pay tribute to our dedicated employees and community partners with a presentation of board awards on May 14th. This ceremony will begin at 6:30 at the Sheridan Auditorium at Sudbury Secondary School. Among the awards, including Outstanding Contribution to Co-Curricular Program, Community Partnership Awards, the Go Green Globe Awards, Awards for Excellence, the Barbara Kanarick Memorial Award, and the William N. Roman Teacher of the Year Award will also be presented. In addition, employees with 25 and 35 years of service will also be recognized. A few more points. The retirement dinner will take place on Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. This is an opportunity that we welcome to celebrate our retirees. EQAO and OSSLT preparations are continuing for the upcoming assessments. Our staff and students are hard at work preparing for both. As you know, successful completion of the Ontario Secondary School Literacy Test is a requirement for graduation. I'd like to thank not just, we celebrated some coaches tonight, but our winter sports season has concluded with tremendous success. I want to thank all of our dedicated coaches and athletes, and we're looking forward to spring activities. We'd like to extend our congratulations to all participants, thank our dedicated coaches and supervisors who once again go above and beyond for our students. Trustees, graduation plans are underway for in-person graduation ceremonies. We're compiling a list of dates, and these will be sent to you soon. We'll hope to confirm some of your attendance, so please look for that. As always, we want to ensure that we have a trustee or a representative from the senior team at each graduation. As you know, this is the most rewarding time of year as we watch students proudly come forward and accept the diploma they've worked so hard to achieve. And last, I'd like to end with some gratitude. I want to thank our students, staff, parents, and guardians for their hard work, patience, and resilience. With only 3.5 months left in the school year already, I do encourage our students to work very, very hard to prepare for success in June. And with that, I end my comments. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Bourget. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, we'll move to the OSBE Director. Trustee Cosmerly, with your report, please.
Thank you.
OPSPA, not OSBE, OPSPA.
I won't say anything this time.
You just had to look at me and smile. That was okay. I realize.
Yes. The board package that all trustees received in preparation for tonight's meeting included my notes from the Board of Directors meeting that I attended in Toronto on March 1st and 2nd. There are a couple of items from that meeting that I wish to highlight now, however. First and most importantly, the Ministry has posted 3 proposals on the Ontario Regulation Registry for public input, 2 pertaining to Trustee Code of Conduct, 1 pertaining to electronic meetings. The deadline for submission of comments is April the 2nd. The proposed changes impact all of us across the province, with the ones on Trustee Code of Conduct being especially critical. I encourage all trustees to take a look at the Ministry's proposals and to provide feedback. Secondly, the provincial budget will be presented on March 26th and will hopefully include some good news for the education sector. 3rd, the next North Region meeting will be held on Saturday, April 6th from 10 a.m. until noon via Zoom. All trustees are welcome to attend and see what's happening across Northern Ontario. And as discussed just a couple of minutes ago, registration is open now for the OPSPA Labor Relations and Human Resources Symposium being held in Toronto on April 25th and 26th. The next Board of Directors meeting will be held just following that meeting on April 26th and 27th in Toronto. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Trustee Cosmerly. Any questions? Trustee Green, go ahead.
Hi. So just a question about the code of conduct. Do you know if that is going to affect student trustees, or is that exclusively going to affect trustees?
I believe it's trustees, period. I can't answer that, but I would believe that it would be trustees, period. I've never seen an instance or never heard of an instance where a student trustee has been called on or run into issues of code of conduct, but it affects trustees, so I would expect that it would include students. I can check, though.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great question. Thank you. We'll check in on that. Anything further? Okay, Trustee Green, for student trustee, time for your report. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. So our Stand Up Speak Out conference is going very well. All of our senators are doing their part to make it a great conference. We are bringing in speakers from all across the city and Ontario to talk to Rainbow students about believing in themselves. And also, very exciting news, we have elected our 2 future student trustees for the 2024-2025 school year. Our first student trustee is Alexandra Wilson-Zagil from Manitoulin Secondary School. She is a grade 11 student. She has been serving as the secretary for Senate this year, and I could not have asked for a better person for the job. This year, she has written a children's book, Robo Friends and the Mo Zone, that has sold over 170 copies promoting environmental sustainability and STEM to kids across Canada. Alexandra is captain of the MSS robotics team, Manitoulin Medal, which became the world's finalist for the first Impact Award last year. She will be returning to the first World Champions in April. Additionally, Alexandra is a reporter for the Manitoulin Exporter with over 60 published articles. She is looking forward to attending the SHAD program this July. Our Indigenous student trustee is Tia Nutchai from Lockerbie Composite School. This year, Tia has taken a role of president of Lockerbie's Student Council, which while being thoroughly involved in her school community, as well as her own personal extracurriculars. In the past, Tia has run 2 successful bake sales where funds raised are donated to the Northern Ontario Families of Children with Cancer, where she is the current ambassador of the organization and has contributed to helping plan events for Lockerbie and her community. She is a 2-time pageant winner and is reigning Miss Ontario Regional Canada, where she promotes her platform of living out loud that encourages leadership and confidence in youth. Additionally, she is a karate coach as a blue belt herself and was recently accepted into the national recognized program titled Youth to Youth, run by Honoring Indigenous People, and will be traveling for a week to British Columbia at the end of March. I cannot express to you how amazing these 2 student leaders are, but what I can say is that the Rainbow District School Board is in good hands next year. Student trustee Jacko Sywink and I have chosen to run elections earlier this year so that we could show them the ropes before their term starts. Thank you, and if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Questions for student trustee Green? Seeing none, thank you very much for that. Trustees' remarks and questions. Trustee Clement, go ahead.
Thank you. February 28th, I forgot I had mentioned this before. I went to the EBLS concert they had there, and their theme this year was Greece. And I can't say enough. Principal Mayhill, she greeted everybody coming through the door. They had a packed house. And I have to thank Mr. Morrow, who's been there forever. And he played producer, director, props, lights, engineer. He did it all, and the kids did a wonderful job. And their theme, if you remember, if you ever watched Grease before, each act was either at the restaurant or at the garage. Well, they did their theme through Espanola. They were at one of our restaurants or this here or this here. They really did a really good job. So you can remember in the original movie, John Travolta is 6'4", so you can imagine trying to get somebody 6'4" in grade school. And they had this little guy with mojo and attitude, and he did a really wonderful job. So I'd like to thank them all for putting that on. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Clement. Any further? Trustee Doer, please.
Yes, I'd like to just take a minute and thank Trustee Cosmerly for her in-depth reports that we can read at home at our leisure, and very much appreciated. Thanks.
Thank you, Trustee Doer. Any further comments or remarks from trustees? Okay, seeing none, I have a few remarks to make. So first and foremost, I hope everybody had a really wonderful March break. Registrations are ongoing in Rainbow Elementary and secondary schools. To register, please contact your area Rainbow School. If you have already registered, thank you very much. We look forward to welcoming your child into Rainbow Schools this fall. The board held its 17th annual Technology Skills Competition on February 9th and on March 5th. The event brought together 150 secondary and 160 elementary students to test their skills in various trades. Students were vying for the opportunity to compete at the Northeastern Qualifier on April 13th in North Bay, or the Skills Ontario competition in May 4th and May 5th in Toronto. On behalf of the board, I want to extend our sincere congratulations to all participants and to wish them continued success. And of course, we heard that the board elementary science fair took place on March 5th. There were a total of 16 projects from students in grade 7 and 8 that were selected to compete at the Sudbury Regional Science Fair at Laurentian University on April 6th and April 7th. 13 secondary school projects will also compete at the regional level. Students will vie for the opportunity to attend the Canada-wide Science Fair that is being held in Ottawa this May. Congratulations to all competitors for letting your instinctive curiosity guide you. Best of luck to all competitors. And of course, this month, schools will go blue for Canada Water Week, a national celebration of water that coincides with World Water Day on March 22nd. This initiative is part of the Environmental Education Committee efforts to encourage sustainable practices and to increase awareness about water usage. And the Rainbow District School Board will present Embrace Diversity, Free to Be Me, a symposium with workshops for students in grade 7 and 8 on March 28th and grade 9 to 12 on March 18th. The educational conference is ongoing work of the Equity and Inclusion Education Committee, which includes community partners. And of course, a friendly reminder that schools will be closed on March 29th, which is Good Friday, and April 1st, which is April Monday. And as Director Bourget mentioned previously, the board's second career fair will take place on Saturday, April 6th from 9 to 3 p.m. at Lockerbie Composite School. Positions are being filled, including elementary and secondary occasional teachers, designated early childhood educators, and educational assistants, administrative assistants, and cleaners. For more information, more information is available on the board's website. And the next professional activity day will take place on Monday, April the 8th, the day of the solar eclipse. There will be no school for students. And finally, the Parent Involvement Committee meeting will be on Tuesday, April 9th at 7 p.m. The topic will be numeracy. And that concludes my remarks for this evening. Thank you all very much. Now that brings us to section G of our agenda. It's information and proposals. First, the reports from the officials and staff. There are the official minutes from the First Nation Advisory Committee from September 21st, 2023 and November 16th, 2023 included in your package. Also, the minutes from the Parent Involvement Committee from January 30th, as well as the Special Education Advisory Committee meetings from February 7th, 2024. There is a package of tenders and proposals to read at your leisure. And non-staff communication, the board and strategic plan schedule of meetings, draft for next year for board meetings as well as strategic planning meetings. And some information about the Ontario School Board Association's central bargaining invoice. And there's a list of future meetings there that I won't need to go through at this point in time. They're there for your leisure. Seeing if there's no other comments or any other business, we are now going to entertain a motion to adjourn. And if I could have a mover, please. Moved by Trustee Corber-Addison and seconded by Trustee Hunter, that we now stand adjourned at 6:15. Thank you all very much. Have